Hello and welcome to Chapter 6, Section 3. This is estimating with percents. This is to give you a general idea of how you can do some percents in your head. It helps you get through the grocery store. It helps you figure out tips when you're at a restaurant. Some general good ideas overall. It also helps to give you an idea of what your math answer is supposed to be so that you know when you're way off. So, we want to start looking at some of the basic percents and how they relate fraction-wise. If you are looking at something that's 1%, that's 1/100th of something. That's moving the decimal over 2 times. So if you've got $20, 1% of that, you move that decimal over twice, that's 20 cents. That's 0.2. 10% is 1/10. That's moving the decimal place over once. If you've got $40, 1/10 of that, 10% of that is just 4. You've moved the decimal over 1 time. 20% is only 1/5 of something because there's 5 20s and 100. 20% is recommended tip these days. 20% is 2 10%. If you're trying to find a 20% tip, you move the decimal over once and you multiply that by 2, and that works. 25% is 1/4 of something. 33 1/3, if you remember from last time, that's 1/3 of something. 50% is 1/2 of something. And then 66 2/3, or 66.7%, that is 2/3. So these are the basic fraction equivalents of the percents that I'd like you to be able to estimate. So when we estimate some of these percents, we're not going to find 48% of 79. We're actually going to estimate both of these numbers. So, and this equal sign that's wavy, this means about. So 48% of 79 is about 50%. I'm going to round that to 50%. I'm going to round this to 80. Well, that's half of 80. And I can do that in my head. And there's like very little math required. It doesn't hurt or anything. So I'm recommending to you that you get good at knowing generally what the answer is, so that if you were to actually work this out and you end up with the answer of 399, well, that's not quite 400. You're just off by a decimal point. And it's a good thing to know that so you can see it and you can go back and fix it before you miss it on a test. So let's try another one. 26% of 102. Well, that's about 25% of 100. That's a quarter of 100. That's 25. I can do that in my head too. So the first step in estimating percents is to figure out how you can work with the really easy fractions and percents so that they can work for you. So, how can you make this work in real life? Well, here's your average word problem. Cam Sports is offering a basketball that's 20% off of $19.99. That same basketball is $14.99 at Hoops. Which store has the better deal? Well, I need to figure out what 20% off of $20 is. I'm going to estimate. What is 20% of 20? Well, this is 1/5 of 20. That's 20 divided by 5. That's 4. So 20% off, they're taking $4 off. So Cam's Sports is selling theirs for 20 minus 4 for $16. Hoops is selling theirs for $15. Guess what? I'm still going to go to Hoops. Yes, it's a great sale, but it's not good enough. Your turn. So, let's try this one. A $62 coat is on sale for 30% off. What is the sale price of the coat? Give that a shot the same way we did 20% off the basketball, and hit pause and come back when you get an answer. Okay, so I'm going to say this is about $60, and I want to take 30% off. So what is 30% of 60? Well, 30% is about, oh, my fractions are gone. 30% is about a third of 60, which means 60 divided by 3. Well, 60 divided by 3 is 20. So it's 30% off. 30% is $20. So I'm taking $20 off of the 60. So if you said $20 off of 60 is about $40, then you got it right. If you took $20 off of the 62 and you said 42, hey, you got it right too. Doesn't matter which way you go, because this is just an estimate. But what I really need you to remember, once you get this part of the math done, is remember that it's 30% off. So that's the part that's going to leave. So that's the part I need you to subtract. Okay? Another way to use estimating to our advantage is to go straight to either 1% or 10% and make that work for us. 1% is moving the decimal over twice. 10% is moving the decimal over once. And like I explained to you before with finding 20%, that's 10% twice. You can do that all over the place. So here's some examples. What is 3% of 59? Well, we're going to estimate that to 60. So we're really looking at 3% of 60. Well, what's 1%? 1% of 60 is 0.6. But I want 3 of them. So what's 0.6 times 3? Well, 6 times 3 is 18 with 1 decimal place. So 3% of 59 is about 1.8. So your answer would really be about 1.8. Let's try 18% of 45. Well, 18 is about 20% of 45. How do I find 20? Well, that's 10% times 2. 10% of 45, I'm going to move the decimal over 1. So that's 4.5 times 2. 2 times 5 about is 10, and 8 and 1 is 9, and there's 1 decimal place. So 20% of 45 is 9. 18% of 45 is about 9. Let's try it with a word problem. A 15% tip on a $25.85 meal. How much am I going to leave if I'm leaving a 15% tip? Well, a 15% tip is a 10% tip plus 5 more, and 5% is half of 10. So it's a little more complicated. It's actually easier to leave them a bigger tip. But let's do this. All right. A 10% tip means I move this decimal over 1 spot. So that's 258. So let's round up to 260. That's my 10% tip. Now, 5% is half of this. Half of $2.60 is $1.30. And if I add those together, I get $3.90. So, I'm going to add $3.90 to my $25.85 meal, and I'm going to spend $29.75 on this meal with tip. Make sense? Your turn. Try it with a 20% tip and see how much easier it is. Push pause and come back to me when you have an answer. $25.85, we're going to find 10%. That's our $2.60. And I'm going to multiply that by 2. And that gives me $5.20. So I'm going to take $25.85 plus $5.20. And I'm going to give them $31.05. And I like tipping people who work hard for me. So, get good at figuring out 20%. So here's some practice for you to try here, and bring your answers to class tomorrow so we can go through them and see how you do, okay? First, you're going to estimate. What is 8% of 261? You're going to round this off and come to an estimate. Number 2, what's 11% of 132? For the next two, you're going to use 1% or 10% to estimate like we just did. I need 41% of 16, and I need 2% of 634. And then we're going to estimate a little bit of sales tax. We're going to go find the total cost to buy a $65.28 frame in California with a 5% sales tax added. Now this is fiction because nowhere in California will you find anything less than 7.5%, but we're estimating, so it's okay. You're going to find 5% of this and you're going to add that tax onto the total cost to come up with a total amount that frame is. Okay? Bring any questions you have to class tomorrow and I will see you then. Take care.